we're celebrating phenomenal women all across Kentucky who make no apologies for their perspectives or the impacts that they are making in the community. Today we're celebrating Merritt Monroy. Merritt is a wife, an entrepreneur, and owner of Local LEX Market. Unapologetically Woman, Merritt Monroy, that's you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are a busy woman.
I am.
You are always on the move. So you own your own business where you make apparel. Tell us about that.
I started El Gato Azul about 8 years ago, making t-shirts and boutique type items for my daughter that was a little girl, and I didn't want to always pay the high prices. So I said I could make that, as a single mom and, trying to make ends meet. Sometimes I said, yeah, I could definitely afford that. So I made things, and then people would say, hey, can you make this for my birthday, or can you make this for my daughter's birthday or Easter? And I said, yeah, sure, I'll try. So I was trying to be creative, and it ended up being a business.
Launched a business.
Yes.
And a lot of times businesses are created on individual needs that people have, and you just jumped right in and took it.
Absolutely, yeah. I said a lot of sleepless nights making a lot of umbrellas that we made for Easter baskets, different designs, and they were clear umbrellas, and they flipped them over and made baskets of Easter, like an Easter basket umbrella. So literally, it's a clear basket, and they would put their name on the bottom, and then do all the little cute little Winnie the Pooh or whatever designs they wanted, and they would put grass in it and put all their different things in it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I did that when I was a general manager at Applebee's, and I would do that on my actual third shift at night, literally.
So you were general manager at Applebee's? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was great. I spent 21 years in restaurant. That was my livelihood. But in 2019, I quit completely. So
You said, that's it, I'm doing it.
I'm doing it, yeah.
And then you started something else, Local LEX Market.
Yeah, during the pandemic, March 2021. Obviously right in the middle of the pandemic, we decided to open a business that would house other businesses and give them a space for everybody.
Why was that important for you?
To me, growth of other people and other businesses underneath of me is priceless, and it is worth $1 million to see people can, grow and succeed underneath of you, and that can just, I don't know, it just lights up your heart.
And this was during a time, the pandemic was a crazy time, but this was also during a time when a lot of people were starting up small businesses,
right.
And it was a way for them to have space and showcase, what their small business was.
Absolutely. A lot of people were laid off or just not going into the job, so they had they had time to make extra crafts and do, videos and YouTubes and TikToks and all the different things that they could learn, and said, oh, I can make that too, just kind of like I started, and they turned into a business.
And you have over 70 vendors.
Yes.
What are some of those vendors? That's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah. So we have a huge store. We have jams, jellies, we have microgreens, we have chicken salad, we have popcorn, we have caramels, we have brittles, cashew brittle, candles, jewelry, woodworking, t-shirts, hats, apparel. I mean, anything that you can think of. It's all things Kentucky in the store.
And it's supporting local too.
Most definitely. Everybody from our store is from Kentucky, with the exception of one vendor, and they live in Tennessee. But he's a Kentucky and a Dunbar graduate. He's moving back to Kentucky, and we have one in Michigan, but he has roots to Kentucky.
So they all have Kentucky roots.
Yes, most definitely.
And so you have a lot going on there. You're going to be having block parties as well.
Block parties, yeah. They start on April 7th, the first Sunday of every month. April through October.
And what is a block party?
A block party is kind of going along with the Southland Farmers Market, which is on the same street. So they have their farmers market going on in the morning, and then we have our block party. So we'll have local makers, we'll have food trucks, we'll have a party going on. One of them's on Cinco de Mayo, so I'm hoping to get a margarita truck out there or something fun.
Yes, margaritas,
have some Latino music and you get out there and have some fun. So.
Well, and you're planning something for Derby too.
Yes, April 13th, we're going to have a Derby party. So it'll be, we'll have like a Derby paint jockey silk party back in the back. We'll have food and hors d'oeuvres, local makers, all things Derby. We'll have little stick horses that we're going to do a little race with, and I'm all
for it. Look, yeah. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So while you were busy doing all of this and getting this started during the pandemic, you were also busy being a lifesaver to someone else.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Right before the pandemic, I'll say in December of 2019, right after I quit my full-time job at Crank and Boom, and when I launched my own little world, I was going through Facebook and I saw a story that said, "Does anybody so kind to help fill out this form and find a kidney for Emily?" I did not know this little girl, but she touched my heart.
How old was she?
She was 17. She's 21 now, but December the 6th, I filled out a form. It took me like 10 times to fill out the form because I didn't know her birthday and I did not know her last name. And me trying to find that information off a post was kind of hard. Mm-hmm. So every time I would get in a secure link, it would sign me back out, but I would get back in, and I finally got it. And they said, within the next 4 to 6 weeks, you'll hear something from us. I said, okay. I got a call in like 3 days. It said, "Oh, do you want to come to Miami and do a 1-day workup?" And I said, sure. I had to do blood pressure and pulse and my weight and all that for like in a couple weeks. And then I went to Miami in January.
Did they know you were a match when you went to Miami?
Well, they were looking for the blood type, which was O positive at that time, and then just medical history. You filled out the form. And then I went to Miami in January on Super Bowl weekend.
Oh, wow.
I didn't know the family. I said, hey, I need you to come get me from the airport. I can't afford a hotel because the hotels were crazy expensive because that was Super Bowl weekend. It was insane. So her parents obviously said, okay, sure. I said, you're going to make me some guacamole. We're just going to do these things. We're going to have the biggest, best time ever. And little did we know, it fast forwarded really quickly. I did the 1-day workup. They called me. That was on a Friday. They called me on a Tuesday, and they was like, okay, you're ready to schedule surgery. On the 27th of February, I gave my left kidney to Emily Herrera, which is now 21, in Miami, Florida. I was there for 3 weeks. I came home on the 15th of March, and the world shut down on the 16th.
Wow. So what made you, as you're just scrolling through Facebook and you saw it, what compelled you to say, I got 2 kidneys, I can give one away?
I knew I could do it. I'm strong. I believe in myself always. I'm a big girl. I'm a big jumper. I don't really think things through all the time. I just go for it. And at the end of the day, if it was my child or my family, I would want somebody to jump just like I did.
Do you and Emily have a special connection?
We do, yes. We're kidney sisters forever, but we went this past summer to her family's house in Miami, and we went to the Florida Keys, we went to Key West, and we do all things together.
Oh, that's so, I wonder about living kidney donors and if they have a relationship, but it sounds like you were family from day one.
Yeah.
They picked you up at the airport.
My manager from Chili's back in the day was her mom's college roommate, and she's the one that actually posted the Kidney Whisperer post, so she's always going to be the Kidney Whisperer as known as that, so we all have this connection.
Oh, that's so incredible.
And she's Hispanic and Cuban, so they have a huge, big family, and everybody's part of their family, so it's all, big, let's go big or go home.
That's right. How do you feel about it? How does that make you being able to help someone in that way, because you're saving her life?
Oh, that's just me in general. I would rather help anybody in any way, form, or fashion I could. That's kind of why we opened Local LEX Market to start with, to help others. Again, like I said, the success of others to me is priceless, honestly. At the end of the day, when I lay my head down, I know that I did something good, and I know that my Lord will always protect me and my family because of the things that I did for Emily.
Wow. That's so incredible. That is so incredible. And you're doing all of this, and now you're facing a challenge of your own. Yes.
In October of 2023, last year, the day after my birthday, I had a colonostomy and an EGD because I had just been feeling really, really rough. Been to the hospital several times, and they said there was nothing wrong, and I knew something was wrong. That was on Tuesday. On Friday, they called me and told me they were going to recommend me to go to the colon rectal surgeon because I had colon cancer. It all fast forwarded. In January, I had a lower interior resection, so they remove about 14 inches of your bowel, and then they took out the pieces, and then when they did that, they could figure out what stage it was. It came back as stage 3, and I have been doing chemo currently. And this past week, it's been kicking my butt.
Well, and I'm so glad you're here, because we usually tape on Tuesday, and, we were like, Kamisha said, we got to do this one on Friday. We've got to do this one on.
Because I do chemos usually on Tuesday and get unhooked on Thursdays. So.
And so, a lot of things that happen with women are just undetected, just because, and it looks like, the colon cancer.
Absolutely. I was 42 years old. I don't have any family history of it, so it was very off the wall. I never thought that when I was at the hospital and I was sick that I had cancer. But when they found out I had cancer, I had to fight for my rights and, stand up for myself and say, okay, let's do this. Let's get this out. Let's do it quickly. Because there's only 2 really colon rectal surgeon hospitals here in Lexington, which would be the colon surgery gastrology associates behind Malibu Jacks or the Marquis Cancer Center. Baptist Health or St. Joe does not have that.
Okay.
So you are kind of limited in space. And at the end of the year, everybody's trying to use their benefits. And Marquis has their own space, but the colon rectal department behind Malibu Jacks does not have. They have to borrow St. Joe or borrow Baptist Health, so there's not a lot of space. So I had a 9-week surgery date, and my CEA, which is your cancer level tracker in your body, was going higher and higher and higher, so fast, and it was so scary. So I opted out from them and went to Marquis.
And what made you decide to do that? Was it the waiting list?
It was the waiting list, just being scared, not knowing. The word cancer is just scary in general, but just to see it go from 12.6 to 16.9 in just a matter of weeks, which was really, really fast, which there's a lot of things that affect that I've learned now, but it's still very, very scary. And I'm glad I didn't wait with it being stage 3.
So what do you recommend to women that are feeling, what were you feeling that made
nausea, vomiting, just lightheaded, losing weight, weird bad pain in my belly, which they have found out that was diverticulitis, and I had a bleeding ulcer. So I had lots of things. Just a explosion waiting to happen. But honestly, just don't advocate for yourself and don't give up. You're always welcome to reach out to me. You can find me anywhere. I'll be at the store, at festivals, or I'll give you my phone number. I don't care.
Well, and that's one of the things that women, when you talk about women's health care, that sometimes we have to advocate more for ourselves than other people would.
Yeah, and they preach breast cancer. In my family, we have breast cancer and ovarian cancer history. And, I get my mammograms all the time, but you're not supposed to get your colonoscopy until you're 45, which they've just lowered that. It was 50, and I think they're going to lower it again because right now colon cancer is the #1 cancer in men and women. So definitely advocate for yourself.
And how often do you know how often folks should go out and have colonoscopies done?
I think every 5 to 10 years. I think it's just based on your family history.
But check with your doctor.
I will be every year for sure.
Yeah, you'll be every year.
Yeah.
I'm every 3 years because my dad died of colon cancer, so I'm every 3 years.
I'm sorry.
I forgot what age they said I'll be when I'll have to go every year. So, but I can relate to some of the things that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because women's health is so important because, even when I go for my colonoscopies, I'll have polyps.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, this is when you need to come back and let's check this out.
Yeah.
But advocating for yourself for sure.
As moms, we always get lost in the filter. We always take care of everybody else, and sometimes we have to take care of ourselves because if we don't take care of ourselves, we can't take care of anybody else.
Absolutely. What's next for you?
I don't really know.
I'm sure it's something.
Yeah.
It's something because you don't know how to. I'm surprised you're able to sit still because you're never still.
I know. This week has been kind of rough, so I've been. Everybody's like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm just not feeling great, but I feel a little more normal, whatever normal is for me. Yeah, but I don't know. I just want to continue to grow the business, get the word out there that if you have something and you're interested in selling your product, bring it to us and we'll work together. Mm-hmm. I want the block parties to be fun, successful for the makers, and I want the community to have a good time at our block parties as well.
Merritt, I'm going to pitch it to you for young girls and young women that are watching you today and going, because everybody has their own struggle, right?
Absolutely. Everybody struggles with something, and I don't care. There's no perfect person out there. You just pick your favorite train wreck and roll with them. Honestly, you think it's your best soul sisters that you can get and have fun, honestly. But, you just have to live.
What kind of advice, young girls, young women that's watching, that are seeing all of the incredible things that you're doing in spite of your own challenges, what kind of advice would you give?
Don't ever give up. Just do your best and, try your hardest. When you lay down at night, say, did I do the best I could do today, and did I make myself proud? Make yourself proud. Don't make anybody else proud. Make yourself proud of who you are.
High five, girl. I love
Absolutely.
it. So nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Thank you.
You guys heard it from Merritt Monroy. Don't ever stop. And whatever the train wreck is, keep plowing right through it. Keep watching as we celebrate other phenomenal women just like her on Unapologetically Woman. We'll see you soon.